So, to start off, I have a bit of a morbid obsession with the darker side of the world. I would often find myself on the Wikipedia pages of such pleasant topics as necrosis, waterboarding, and one of my personal favorites, Nazi human experimentation. Now, I'm not saying I'm endorsing any of this. I find genocide and fascism disgusting beyond belief. However, imagine my excitement when a historian friend of mine had said that some documents from a Nazi scientist had been uncovered, not seeing the light of day since 1943. He had said that he had to beg, but he finally got the authorization to allow me to read them. I'm pretty sure that I can't disclose where these documents currently are, but I can tell you what they said. The pages were a scientific record of a new miracle cure for Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. He had called this serum Spinnennetz, or spider's web. I'm guessing he named it this because it could rebuild the web of brain cells that were lost with dementia. He said that he would begin testing on a German Shepherd tomorrow. The first page was dated October 5, 1952, and signed Ein hoffnungsvoller Mensch, one hopeful man. The pages for the next few months were relatively boring. The dog's vital signs are normal. The dog has a healthy appetite, blah blah blah. However, around February of 1943, he wrote something that caught my eye. He said that the dog spoke to him. Spoke to him? This was ridiculous. However, I kept reading. The scientist said that the dog told him the name of his father, who had been killed in the Great War. He then said that the dog had told him about his little brother being killed that day, which he said had never happened. I was about to flip to the next page, but then I noticed a blue paperclip that seemed way too new to be 70 years old. It joined a small black and white photograph to the paper. I examined the photo and saw a German Shepherd with jaws and lips that seemed inflated and engorged into a forced snarl. The dog's eyes were unholy and devoid of life, if that makes any sense. It appeared to be in mid-bark and in a very defensive pose. I gave up reading the papers for a week after that. When I finally returned to reading those god-forsaken documents, I skimmed through the pages until I found something interesting. Apparently, by April of 1943, the dog's legs had become useless, and foul-smelling, obviously gangrene, I thought to myself, had begun following the scientist home, yelling at him in a demon's voice, as the scientist called it, about his dead family. His brother really had died that day 2 months prior, and friends, many of whom had begun to die when the experiment began, the scientist noted. Again, for the next few months, the papers were the same thing. The dog keeps following me. It yells through the night. Another of my friends died. Blah blah blah. However, within the last few pages, in August of 1943, the scientist wrote that he couldn't take that damn dog anymore, and that he would end it all after he sent the devil serum to Josef Mengele for human experimentation. The note ended with words that haunt me to this day. Gute Nacht, Kleiner Hund, or Good Night, Little Dog in English. I was relieved to be finally over with this horrible diary, but my happiness was cut short when I realized that there were 2 more pages left. The first of the pages was nothing but scribbles on a page, ending with an oddly well-written Gute Nacht, Kleiner Hund. The only other well-written part of the note was also the most confusing, the date, which was February 7, 1979. I had thought originally that the notes hadn't been touched since 1943. On further research, I now know that February 7, 1979 is the day Josef Mengele died. The final note was a single sentence, written in English. We often give our enemies the means of our own destruction. However, the most chilling part of this final paper was the date, April 27, 2013, the date of the day I was reading these papers. Ever since I read that note, a dog's barking has been keeping me up all night. I don't remember any of my neighbors owning a dog, but it begins to bark as soon as I get home, to as soon as I leave the house. And yesterday, it told me about how my mother just died. I can't take it anymore, and I'm going to leave this place. Forever. Gute Nacht, Kleiner Hund. Hello, I am the Gothic Librarian. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please leave a comment, a thumb up, and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me a lot. If you have a story you want to share, a request for my next video, or ask me anything, you can contact me through my email, my Facebook page, my Twitter and Instagram accounts, which are all linked down below. I will see you at my next public reading here at the Gothic Library. In the meanwhile, feel free to take a look around and keep in mind, it's in the dustiest books that you may find the best stories.